Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationships mixed with the butthole stories as well. And if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Now, today's first story comes from Unable Book 1010 who says, "Am I the arsehole for threatening to take legal action against my ex's wife, stepdaughter, if she doesn't pay for the gift she broke? I, male 38, have been separated from my ex-wife for almost 14 years. She's married now and has two stepdaughters. This one involved the older one, Anna, 17 I think. Our older daughter Diane, female 16, is really into calligraphy. My parents gave her a feud, a Japanese calligraphy brush, as a gift for having a great school year. We came back from a trip and left them with her mother. I was just getting home when my youngest called me to return. Once there, they were having an argument. My ex-wife and her wife were trying to mediate. Diane said that Anna stole her brush and broke it. Anna says that she took it with permission from Diane. Not true, we checked and she accepted breaking it, but replaced it with another one, a cheap one. My ex-wife and her wife claimed that it was not a big deal and Anna replaced it. I disagreed and told them that either Anna or them have to order a new one or give them money for us to do it. They were willing to do it until Diane told them how much it cost, $3,000. That's when they flipped the lid and said, why am I buying something that expensive? I told them it's none of their business or the point. Besides, it was a gift from my parents, not mine. They refused and said they can't do it without taking a hit in their finances. I told them that I don't care and that they need to pay for it or I would take legal action against Anna since she admitted taking it and breaking it. I told them to be quick because the brushes are limited. Our daughters decided to come with me and took their important things with them. My ex-wife and her parents and her wife are blasting my phone saying I would ruin Anna's future and that I'm putting our daughters against them and ruin their relationship. We've been co-parenting really well, but I don't know. Am I being reasonable? She's not a kid anymore." Now, I think this one's a pretty simple one to me and the brush needs to be replaced. We covered a lot of these stories where people have stolen items, they've borrowed and broke them, and it always comes out that they need to be replaced. But I think in this particular situation, it's being really downplayed because it's a brush. They're seeing it as in quotes, it's just a brush kind of thing. Not, it's a $3,000 brush. When I saw the price of them, I was straight on Google seeing if I could find any of these brushes, and they are pretty expensive. And I think the only thing that I find really sad about the situation is that it's going to put probably a barrier between these two now. I don't know what their relationship was really like before, but if it was partially good, then this could potentially damage their relationship. So I would say if the relationship is good, obviously, I would maybe try to avoid the legal route. And I know I'll probably get hate for that one because we always say always press charges. But thinking about their relationship and trying to salvage anything you can out of it, I don't know. I might be completely wrong there. So loved your input on that one. But Zorgus says they wouldn't be shocked if it was a high-end tablet, would they? Just because they don't value the value of the item doesn't mean it doesn't have a value. Good luck getting the value back, not the arsehole. Kimchi says, not the arsehole, Anna is 17, not 7, almost an adult. She's old enough to know that she shouldn't take something that doesn't belong to her. By the way, I believe a limited edition brush can cost $3,000. Like we see... I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Charging $1,800 for a trash bag, lol. Not the arsehole. If a gift that expensive is broken, then yes, it needs to be replaced correctly. Anna is old enough to know not to take stuff that's not hers. It sounds like Anna is trying to lie on Diane. Diane said it was taken without permission while Anna said she asked for it. Clearly, she didn't ask for it. Definitely take them to court if they don't buy another one. Right Tonight says, I'm going to be honest, I want to say not the arsehole because lying and destroying someone's property is a fucked up thing to do, but also suing a teenager just doesn't seem right. I think you should go to r/legal advice for a proper answer if pressing a lawsuit on a child or parents is the option to go for, or if it's worth it. And one more from One Job to Rule Them All who says everyone sucks here. I was no one informed your daughter's brush cost $3,000. Either because you're an idiot or because you underhandedly try to bribe your daughter with expensive gifts your ex doesn't know about. Either way, you are responsible for no one knowing it's a $3,000 brush. What's that about? Then in come the update. I never thought this would get so much attention. I'm still going through the comments, but I'm going to clarify a few points and give you an update. Why Diane brought the brush to her mother's. She has a neighbor friend whose hobby is painting. Diane's friend has a nice brush collection. She took it to show her. Why did she leave the brush at her mother's? She stays a week with her mother. She has left other valuable things, either sentimental or monetary, and nothing has happened until now. Why I allowed her to move it around. It has to do with how my parents raised me. You are the one in charge of your stuff, no one else. You are the one who puts the value in them. That's why I have always let my daughters do as they want with their things, the same way my parents taught my siblings and I. She understands this kind of brush is not something to just play with. She agrees that she was careless as she wasn't planning to use it but to start her own collection, the same way a friend and I do. I can't blame her though. She was comfortable with them and there was no precedent. A relationship with their stepfamily, they are not close but they are civil. They never clicked but they agreed to respect each other and their things. How we found out Anna lied. Simple. When she said she got permission via text, I asked her to show us. My ex and her mother asked for her phone. She could have lied but folded. She said she took it and broke it but didn't say why. The price. My ex knew the price but not her wife. Both knew it was a gift from my parents. My ex-wife decided to play dumb because she didn't tell her wife about the price. For the doubters, I understand because not many are interested in handwriting or calligraphy. Brushes and pens can cost hundreds or even thousands because they are made with limited or rare materials by a craftsman with decades of experience. It is an art in itself. You can Google it if you can/want. The brush. I need to talk to my parents if they still have the receipt so I can contact the manufacturers and see what can be done. My hopes are slim to none. To say the brush is broken is to put it mildly. It has to basically be remade. What transpired yesterday? We returned home and we talked after they calmed down. I asked them if I was missing something or if something changed, etc. They said everything was pretty much the same, but Diane and Lily said they might know the reason why Anna did it. During the week they stayed with her mother. Anna said to all of them that her boyfriend's birthday was coming up and she wanted to gift him something special. She asked my youngest, let's call her Lily, with everyone present if she could play the guitar while she sang a song to him and Lily refused. Lily says that Anna took it well and didn't make a big deal. And 2 days before I picked them up, Anna asked Diane if she could make a big poster and Diane refused, but unlike Lily, she offered to do something small. Diane said that Anna declined their offer and didn't make a big deal. Why they refused? The boyfriend's birthday was when they were going to be on a trip with me last week and both told Anna about it. I asked them if they knew about the finances of her mother. They said she's still working, also her wife and definitely not struggling. That's why both of them are mad at her mother because she or her wife could have paid for the brush. They don't understand why she acted like that. Knowing this, I asked her what she wanted to do. She listened to my threat and I told her I mean it. I was going to buy the brush and force them to pay me back. She asked me to wait and see what they do in the next days. What happened today? I received 2 calls early in the morning, one from ex-wife and the other from Anna's father asking to meet. The father came first. He said his youngest daughter called him and told him what happened. Him and I talked for a little bit and by the look of it, there are bigger issues. The man apologized to Diane for Anna's behavior and paid for the brush. The rest came after. Anna apologized first and said why she did it. She took the brush instead of another out of revenge. She tried to use it to do the poster for her boyfriend and because she is not as good as her, she destroyed it in a fit of rage. Once calm, she saw her mistake and looked for another one online. She saw how much it cost and decided to buy a cheap one. She never told anyone what she did until Diane returned. Anna's mother apologized to Diane and also Lily. They both left after that. My ex-wife remained. She apologized to Diane and Lily and said she acted the way she did because this could kill the little to none relationship they have as sisters, but the result was worse and she regrets it. Diane and Lily told her that everything could be fine if they paid for the brush and apologized right then and there. She could have ended with one upset daughter. She now has 3. They said that now they don't feel secure there and have no plans to return. My ex-wife said she was going to do anything to solve it and proposed family therapy again, but both of them refused. They said that they could meet somewhere else, but at least not for now. They left us alone. We talked mostly about logistics and a few things I wanted to confirm. Lastly, I talked with my daughters again and both are still pretty upset. The relationship with her mother took a major hit and they're not as happy with how it was resolved, and neither am I, alas. We're going to see my parents in the upcoming days. Diane wants to talk with them about the money before buying another brush. Thank you for taking your time. I tried to cover as much as I could, but I will try to answer if you have any questions. And now after the update, I'm going to turn it to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? How would you deal with it if it was you? In the original post, would you be going straight for that legal action or not? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And this next story comes from Vibing Jellybean and does come with an update as well, titled, Am I the arsehole if I refuse to debaptize my aunt? My parents believe in the freedom of choosing one's own religion. My mother was raised Catholic, while my father believes in God without participating in any church. I, 14, honestly do not care too much about the topic, to the dismay of my aunt. During my childhood, she constantly tried to pressure my mother into getting me baptized. Whenever I visited them, she would try to push Christianity on me. She would read the Bible to me and take me to a church, among other things. This made me very uncomfortable to the point where I did not want to visit anymore. I recently developed an interest in herbs and plants. This somehow convinced her that I practice witchery. Now she constantly switches between trying to save me and making a point of avoiding me. Most of the family thinks her silly, but like always, when she is acting like crazy, everyone just accepts it. Since I did not budge, she focused on my brother, 5. He is friends with my cousin, 6, and therefore spends a lot of time at their house. On his latest visit, my aunt decided to make an appointment with a priest, forge my mother's signature, and get my brother baptized. After my brother told my mother about the incident, which my aunt told him not to do, she confronted my aunt on her next visit. My aunt proudly confessed to having saved my brother, and a screaming match ensued. As I already mentioned, my parents strongly believe that everyone should be able to choose their own beliefs and not join a church until one is old enough to make an informed decision. To summarize my aunt's words, she could not believe that our mother was willfully condemning us to hell, and that it's no wonder I'd become a satanic witch. She had to act because my mother obviously couldn't be brought to her senses and someone had to save the boy. In a moment of anger, I went to my room to get one of my pots. I had one pot in the shape of a skull and filled it with water. While they were still screaming at each other, I poured the water over her. Then I declared her to now be baptized a witch and the lawful wife of Satan. I will be honest, I enjoyed the expressions of shock and then panic on her face. She told me to undo what I did and I refused. Once she realized she could not convince me, she stormed out of the house. Now she told the whole family about it, and my grandparents and other relatives have been bombarding my mother with hateful messages. My mother says she understands why I did what I did, but I need to undo it to keep the peace. I'm supposed to make a show of debaptizing her and declaring her Christian again. I'm just tired of everybody constantly talking about religions and fed up with my aunt and everybody's endurance of her. If she can just go around and baptize my brother, why can't I do the same to her? Am I the arsehole if I do not comply with my parents' wishes? We had a story some months back where I think it was a mother-in-law took their grandchild to go and get baptized behind the parents' back, and I think there was like signature forging and all sorts going on in the background. I can't quite remember. But in that particular story, mother-in-law came back to the house and then sort of gleefully said, I've had him baptized kind of thing. And the parents were absolutely horrified and said, you cannot do that behind the back, and reported the mother-in-law to the church. And I think in the end, after some back and forth, she actually sort of got expelled or kicked out of the church, because you can't just go around baptizing other people's children like that. And it's like you said, her nonsense has just been accepted because, I'm guessing, it's family. I really need to create a sound bite for that. We say that quite often. But before our little update, Rainy Reminder says, I really hope this is true because it is hilarious. Tell her to go get rebaptized if she's so worried and to carry on being a delightfully weird person. The world needs way more of us, not the arsehole. Actually, this is one of those you're the arsehole but justified situations. I'm not mad. Too Many Books says definitely not the arsehole, but also if she forged your mother's signature to baptize your brother, look into reporting her to whatever her church is. From what I know, that's all really frowned upon and most churches would kick her out for that. Chris says not the arsehole, you can't just declare someone is not a Christian anymore or is unbaptized. An adult would choose to accept or reject Christ. Nobody makes that decision for him or her. You don't need to do anything and she doesn't understand her faith very well if she thinks it needs undoing. But she's out of line for what she did to your brother. And one more from Naran who says not the arsehole, that was hilarious and your aunt completely missed the point you were trying to make. You involuntarily baptized her, which is exactly what she did to your brother. What your aunt doesn't realize is that because of her actions, your brother's baptism isn't valid. Have your mum contact the parish priest and explain to him what happened. He should rip your aunt a new one. Respond to the rest of the family with this. I just poured tap water over aunt. I have no power to baptize her in any religion. She is the one who forged my mother's signature to get my little brother baptized against my parents' wishes. Why aren't you angry at her? So then OP did update the post, which says, first of all, thank you for all the helpful replies and the awards. This got way more attention than I would have thought. I wanted to give an update to the whole thing. Apparently, neither the baptism of my brother nor the priest itself were legitimate. The dude is not even registered as a priest and is just someone she found online. He, with my aunt and my grandmother, held a small unofficial ceremony. My grandmother confessed this to my grandfather once the drama started and he now told my mother. The whole thing is rather weird and my grandfather told my mother to report the priest. But my mother just wants to leave the whole story behind us, since his baptism does not have any real effect on my brother. She sees this as an easy solution to get her sister off her back. We're just happy my brother is not actually baptized. Also, good news is my mother no longer wants me to de-baptize my aunt and finally accepted that she is simply crazy. She will try to talk with my grandmother tomorrow, since she is not as crazy as my aunt and can hopefully convince her of leaving me alone. According to my grandfather, my aunt told the story of me baptizing her very different, which is why my relatives were on her side. Despite all the hilarious suggestions on how I could continue to scare my aunt, I will not do anything like that. I will just wait and see how things go from here. I was going to come in after this story and say, I'm surprised she found someone online to baptize the brother that quickly, but it's not really that surprising, is it? Anyone could be anyone online if they really want to. But in some ways, I was still surprised by the family's reaction. It seems very chill about the whole thing. She's just crazy. What's she like, eh? Bloody going out there and getting my son baptized, the cheeky so-and-so. Oh well, what's for dinner tonight? But what do you guys make of this situation? How would you react if that was your son that was taken and then, fake baptized or whatever? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below and let's move on to one more story. And this next story was just a little one that I spotted as I was browsing Reddit as I do, and I thought it was a nice little one. So this one's from Fiends who says, you want free wine, you get free wine, and it's from the Malicious Compliance subreddit. This is a short one and isn't malicious compliance on my behalf, but on the waiter, and it's quite wholesome. Back in 2000, I had just landed a job in Paris, France. I'm English and at the time my French was not very good at all. A few months after I started, my mother visited me and I took her to a local restaurant I liked. Now in French, a carafe is smaller than a regular bottle when ordering wine. Details are a bit sketchy on that translation. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me. So when the waiter came to take our order, I ordered, pronunciation, a cadeau of wine. Cadeau means gift, but I meant to say carafe. Anyway, he brings me the wine and we enjoy our meal. When the bill came, or l'addition, and the wine was nowhere to be seen. When the waiter came, I asked him where the wine was and he grinned and said, "You ordered a gift." I thought that was a lovely little cheeky story to end on there. I know it wasn't a long one at all, but stories like that I absolutely love, and I love to share them once in a while as well. How about you? What do you guys make of that one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and thank you so much for just sharing your time with me today, getting involved in the channel, sharing your love to one another means the absolute world, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today